Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hardcore Heroes. How are you guys doing? How are you doing, Nick? How was your break?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Good, excellent.
Doing good. All right, so the staff of the Magi seems lost. Solemn's a long way away. This guy's been dead 200 years. Maybe this other stuff, this Falstaff stuff. I do like Falstaff. I've been playing him a lot recently.
You've been playing him a lot?
Falstaff in HOTS.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This guy's Falstaff, but they're close enough.
They are close enough. I feel like it's... Well, I guess you probably made this guy up before you played HOTS.
I think so. Well, maybe not. I don't know. They might be...
You are partial to Falstaff, though, aren't you?
Well, I am. I've got like 102 levels in him or something. But this is a different... This is definitely a reference to something, but it's a different reference to a different thing.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Right. Any of you all seen Summoner Geeks? That's where we're pulling this from.
No. What is it?
It's a short... Hey, it's fine. It's a short clip at the end of some game about... I think it's like the characters from some shoot-'em-up game playing D&D afterwards. It's fantastic.
Really?
It's like a 3-minute video. It's internet gold from the olden days, and it's beautiful. I recommend everybody goes and checks it out. Yes, it's pre-YouTube.
They were good old days.
It's one of the classic D&D jokes. It's right up there with like the guys LARPing and shouting lightning bolts and throwing shit at each other. It's that level of comedy gold and classic stuff.
Do you know, I was thinking about LARPing the other day because I tell my friends about D&D, but none of them like really none of them watch the show or anything like that. And someone was asking me like, have you ever thought about doing LARPing? And it's never really interested me because I thought, how do you enforce the rules? Like, I was thinking about this lightning bolt guy. Like, he used a lot more spell. He wouldn't have that many spell slots, would he? So
I don't know, man. I've never LARPed myself, but people get really into it. And so I assume they've got some sort of methodology to deal with rules,
I guess it can't just be D&D, can it?
I don't know enough to give an informed commentary. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. Right.
It's not my area of expertise.
So I think we're going to go back to Sandashar and visit Falstaff's tomb.
All right. So to get from Yatel to Sandashar under normal circumstances would be easy. Under the circumstances of a civil war, they're going to be a little bit harder. So, how do you want to get to Sandashar? We've already heard that the Navy, or some house, has blocked the ports and has restricted sea voyages. So that leaves you by land and by air, or underwater? I don't think you can swim underwater the whole way.
I don't really think I can walk across the Red Desert either.
Well, this right here is the Quasarian Steppes.
Okay, so it's not a desert.
It's dry, but it's not like brutal red desert terrain. It's more like Mongolian steppes rather than like Nevada steppes.
Yeah, sure. So I'll ask some NPCs then in town. I really need to get out of Yatel. And I was planning to take a boat to Sandashar, but with the naval blockade, that's going to be difficult. Hypothetically, if I was going to walk across the Quasarian Steppes, how dangerous is that? I asked my wizard friend this.
Mildly dangerous. For you, probably not at all. Onkegs will be the biggest things you face there.
Onkegs. What are they again?
They burrow up from the ground, spit acid, grab their prey, and drag them back into the earth.
Oh, like giant insect-looking things.
Yeah. Evil underground grasshoppers, basically, that spit acid.
I remember.
They are a scourge on all of Akuban. Found everywhere.
Well, my method of travel tends to keep natural monsters away from me. I use a phantom steed.
Well then, you should have no problem crossing the desert. Or the plains. Why is it that you're going that way?
I want to immerse myself in Akuban culture, and I think that Sandashar is the place to go. I've spoken with Valorian, and that's why I came to Yatel, and now I plan to return.
I see. I see. So,
You're
where- Hmm?
you're in the army, right? Could you not? Is it not possible for me to get a boat out of town? Could you not get me past the blockade?
If we could get past the blockade, it wouldn't be a blockade.
I suppose.
I need
Do
to...
Is there any towns on this island near here? Like, could I get a ship from somewhere else nearby? Is there anywhere not blockaded?
I can't speak to everywhere, but as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know, the... What are they called? The the Tesrohan family controls the ships, along with the Stone Songs and the Gildarin, and they have blocked just about everything. That's
Right.
their one saving grace. Still, for a wizard like you or me, it ought not be too big of an issue. You can get yourself to the edge of the Quasirian Steppes, across the Oran Sound, and walk across the water, fly across, turn yourself invisible, and go over land, ignoring armies. You're a clever man.
Yes, I'll be fine. Is the armies march across the steppes? Do they?
Not yet.
Okay, well,
Oh,
I'm sure I'll see
no.
them coming before they see me.
The Civil War's only been underway for a few months. Armies are still being raised. I believe Unyaka is under siege.
Really?
No, it's not yet. Hold on. Checking my notes here. It's just a mess over there. Armies being marshaled and everything. War's getting started. No major battles have yet been fought.
Akuban civil war, Mistrea fighting Dracus, Eridon destroyed. What is the world coming to?
God, it will all be soon ruled by Matava. What an unpleasant thought for you and I.
I certainly hope not. I sailed from Dracus on a Matavan boat, and it was, let's say, it was an awkward experience. They won't even look you in the eye, these women.
Well, would you look a slave in the eye?
I'm not their slave, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Rubbish deal, being a slave.
Yes, well, not ideal, I'd say.
Not ideal at all.
I haven't tried it myself, but I've just got a hunch. Well, I shall be leaving on the morrow, my friend. You are, of course, welcome to accompany me if you... I wouldn't say no to a travel companion, but I'm sure your duties will keep you here.
My duties do keep me here. I must help keep the area safe.
It's been nice to meet you, and I shake his hand.
Pleasure is all mine.
If I'm in the area again, I'll seek you out. I hope the war goes well for you and your people.
As do I. We should be safe here for the end, I hope.
Yeah, all right, good. Well, I hope things work out, and I leave. And I guess I'm gonna quickly check the rules for Phantom Steed. But I think that I'm probably just gonna ride across the steps. How long does this last? It lasts 9 hours, so...
And at what rate do you travel?
Let's see. Where does it say? Movement rate of 4 per level, so 36.
Ooh. Okay.
So it's pretty quick. And
it goes for 9 hours, did you say?
yeah, and I could cast it twice, and I could cast it twice a day. But 9 hours is probably enough, isn't it? I could.
Yeah. So you're
Go for
making
9
about
hours.
95 miles a day. So it'll take 2 days to get wherever you need to go, basically.
Oh, great. So I could do 1 day going across the steps, camp at the base of these hills here.
Right. You'll probably do, a little less than a day, and it won't be nearly as good as like a straight line, but if you have
Yeah.
180 miles, you can still get wherever you need to go. So yeah, you'll probably get to like here-ish, and then you can bop to wherever.
Great. All right,
let's
so
just
spend
roll
1 night out in the steps.
Yeah, and there are
And
no
that's-
random encounters.
Well, I've still got my crystal, so I'll stay in a Learman's hidden lodge in the middle of the steps.
Ah.
So I have a nice. It's funny, you can actually cast like other spells with it too. Like you can cast like Unseen Servant with it, so it comes with an Unseen Servant and
Oh,
things like that.
nice.
But I don't do any of that because I haven't got that learned. But it's pretty good luxury, I think, though.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I haven't cast it yet, so I guess it's nice to test that spell out. So let's see. Perfectly camouflaged. Appears as a house-sized boulder or a sand dune. Interior is level, clean, and dry. The whole thing's sturdily constructed from timber, stone, or sod. Secure against winds of up to 100 miles an hour, impervious to missiles. Doors, windows, and chimney have the option to be wizard locked and guarded by an alarm spell, but you've got to cast that extra. Furnishings include 10 bunks, a small writing desk, a trestle table, and benches. Yeah. Okay, so the components are just stone, lime, sand, water, wood, and then a diamond. So yeah, I can bash all that out. All right, so I sleep out in my little hidden lodge and then cast a Phantom Steed again in the morning and carry on to Sandashar.
Perfect. You're not going straight to Sandashar though, right? You're going to end up. Are you going to try and cross over the land route, or are you going to try and find a way over the sea route?
Oh, I see. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is Unyaka? He said that was sieged, right?
No, it is not sieged. I was looking too far ahead in the calendar.
Okay. No, yeah, maybe I will. I might camp over here for a night, and then the next day I'll probably fly over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 15 miles across. I'm pretty sure you can do that as a bird in an hour or two.
Easy,
yeah.
Easy.
No problem. So, 2 days after you leave Unyaka, which is maybe a day or so after you arrive in Unyaka, which is 2 days after you spent 3 months in a mountain, trapped up to your neck, speaking to a waking up dragon, you can arrive in Sandashar. I guess you arrive as a bird?
Yeah, so I want to be subtle. So above the city, I turn into a robin, and then I use that and try and find a safe place to turn into a human.
All right, so let's just have a quick chat about the safety of your presence here.
Right, okay.
Right, because you're in a situation where this country is at war, and they're probably pretty suspicious of unknown people, especially people who can polymorph and move around, and especially people from like outsiders.
Yeah.
So you're in clearly you're a powerful wizard. You could probably get out of any sticky situation, but if you want to avoid detection, some sort of keeping a low profile might be a good idea. Yeah?
Yeah, okay. Keep a low profile, sure.
Sure, as much as you want.
Yeah.
It's just, I want to make it clear that you are a suspicious person at this point in time from these people's perspective. And that should just be thought of.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So, I will go back to the inn I was staying at, and I'll stay there for a night. And then the next day, I want to go and visit the tomb.
Okay. Sure, you can head on over to the tomb. And the cemetery does not seem to have many guards around it. There are, of course, a few honor guards posted, but it's kind of quiet. And as you're looking around for Harazim guards, I think it becomes pretty clear that there are none anywhere. The Harazim family's been kicked out of power, and the cemetery's empty.
No one's guarding the tomb?
No. You can find like a little placard that shows you like all the major important cemetery tombs of the area, and very quickly you find Falstaff Harazim. It's right here, and you take up this path down this area, and it's right next to the water over here, and you find yourself a few minutes later facing this large white marble building that's maybe 20 feet by 20 feet on the outside.
And there's no one here?
Nope. There's like a little worn spot on the ground where it looks like honor guards have been standing for hundreds of years, but there's no guard on the spot. The doors are presently shut, but you could open them.
It's free to the public, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I open the door.
It opens with it's a big, heavy stone door, but it's dwarven craftsmanship. Good work, so it opens easily. Inside is a much smaller room. It's only 10 by 10. The walls are quite thick. With remarkable construction, really elaborate stuff here. Beautiful work, all sorts of like bas relief carvings all over the place. Little, fancy doodles everywhere.
Okay, let me just post some new spells here for the day. This is fine. I'll swap irritation out for another invisibility. And wait, at what level is forget? Is that level 2? feel like that could come in handy. Second level, okay. So, instead of mirror image. And no point having fireball in the middle of town. Let's see what else. Yeah, sure. Instead of fireball. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, if I can literally go into the tomb and there's no one there.
Yeah, right. It's empty.
It's too good to be true. I want to do something that I'm probably not allowed to do, but that falls short of actually stealing. So, like, I start touching things that I'm probably not meant to be touching.
Right. You run your hands over the sarcophagus itself.
Yeah. Just make sure, like, is there any, like, is it setting off an alarm or anything like that?
Nothing seems to be happening.
How loud was that door?
Not super loud. You know, it's just a big, heavy stone door.
If you open it in the middle of the night, would people be hearing you? Like, do people live close enough to hear that, or?
Only if those people were in the cemetery nearby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do then, I spend some time in the tomb, I look around, I see his sarcophagus.
Can you give me an intelligence check while you search the area?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. So this is definitely a small but elaborate tomb. And one of the things you'll notice right away is that there are no personal possessions on display, and there's no place for personal possessions. Oftentimes, grand tombs, you'll have like a little altar, and there will be like this thing that was of that person's, or like this thing that is modeled after something they had. There'll be, you know, adornments to remind you of who's here and, you know, let you connect with them emotionally. This has no such things.
Well, do I think that, he said that the staff was in the sarcophagus, didn't he, the dragon?
He did.
So I'm assuming that that's where it is.
I'll have to open the sarcophagus.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that now. So what I want to do is leave, find somewhere where I'm not being watched, which should be quite easy, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. I mean, you're not watched in the tomb. You step outside and look around. What time of day is it for you?
I think it's like, you know, late morning or afternoon.
You see a couple of people mourning someone, you know, maybe 600 feet away.
Okay, so I just want to go somewhere I'm relative. I know there's no one watching me, but just where I'm hidden anyway, and I'm just going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay, you are invisible.
And I want to hang around until nightfall.
Hours pass. Eventually night falls. You have seen people coming and going, but none of them have come to this place in particular. Actually, as some people walked past and saw the doors open and politely shut the doors because someone left them open, and then just move on with their day. That's about it.
I have a habit of leaving things open that I should have closed.
Yeah, but that's it. It's fine.
Okay, so I feel like I'm being tricked here, but as night falls, is it dead here?
Still as the grave.
There's no one here, right?
Nope.
So
only the dead. And you.
So I, as quietly as possible, once it seems like the dead of night and I can't even hear people, I go to enter the tomb again.
Yeah, no problem. You open the tomb, pull open the door, it open, the moonlight spills in, and you can see the sarcophagus, although not very well. What is the cycle of the moon? 1d28. Oh, it is like 2 days before the new moon. So, no, 2 days before the full moon. So it's actually decently lit in here.
So I think I reach for my light stone and then to have it, be dead?
Yeah, it's just a rock now.
And something about invisibility is you can see yourself, can't you? So I can't check, but I assume my invisibility stopped working as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if I can walk into a dragon's lair, then I can open a box. So
Right? What could the danger be?
What could happen? I don't know. It's not like I can't cast any spells if something happens. The door's very close, right? If this thing starts to wake up, I can just run.
It's only a 10 by 10 room, and the sarcophagus is in the center of it, so yeah.
Yeah, so I'm right by the door.
Right by the door, yeah.
How heavy? I test the lid. Can I lift it?
Oh, it's solid stone. You're not going to be able to lift it. You might be able to slide it.
Yeah. I don't want to break it, though. So
They will give you a...
I'm unlikely to be able to shove it too hard and it falls off. Like, let's be honest.
I doubt you'll accidentally throw it over the edge.
So I start to shift it.
Okay. Just give me a regular strength check to see if you can shift it without anything. Yeah. You give it a good hefty shove, and it slides, revealing a completely empty sarcophagus.
God damn it.
Not even cobwebs.
Alright, I close it again. Does it look recently emptied out? Like you said, there's no cobwebs, so that kind of implies that maybe it was recent.
I mean, if it's got a proper lid on it, there would be no exchange of elemental anything, right? There would be no spiders or anything in it. I don't know if you could tell how long it has been emptied, if it's, properly sealed.
Yeah, I guess not. Okay, so I close it again. And frustrated leave.
Okay, you exit and shut the door behind you.
Yes.
Take it. And I guess you can start exiting the center.
Does my lightstone work again now?
It does, yes.
And I wonder if I'm invisible again. That is right. Like if you cast invisibility, you yourself can see yourself because it's not actually making you invisible. It's an illusion.
Right. So I believe you see yourself. So you never truly know if you're invisible or not.
It's quite funny.
You
really.
go to the Drax School of Invisibility.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So here we are, and this. Oh, go ahead.
I'll test that by trying to catch somebody's eye as I'm walking down the street. It should be pretty easy to tell if people can see.
Totally, yeah. You're making eye contact with someone. They look right back at you and cock their head to the side.
So it seems to have fully cancelled the invisibility spell.
Yes.
I wonder if I might go back there tomorrow and have a look at the runes. It would be nice to be able to do something like that myself.
So we're at the point where you're going to need to do some sort of investigation to figure out where this guy is.
Oh, right, because his body's gone as well, yeah.
His body's gone and his stuff is gone. So I believe the options before us, and do correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to railroad you too hard, is that either someone has stolen the body and his stuff, or it's been intentionally moved to a secret place, or Balerion was lying to you and it was never actually buried in this tomb, right?
Yes, they are the three options. I'm not going to assume that the dragon was lying. I'm going to assume the dragon was telling the truth.
Okay, so then either he was moved to a secret location after being buried, or he was stolen. So how would you determine which of those was the truth?
Well, the fact that there's no guards there leads me to believe that maybe they were moved on purpose, because if they were just stolen, I feel like that would increase the guard presence. But I wonder if maybe all of the tombs have been emptied in that way, since the cemetery's not being defended anymore.
So if it's been moved, the next question would be, when was he moved, right?
Yeah, well, there's a civil war, right? So it might have been recent.
Okay. How could you find out if he was moved, in the last couple of months at the start of the Civil War?
Well, I could befriend some political types, but that risks exposing myself.
It does. Is there a minion or like a lackey that might know? Or might have seen?
Certainly could manipulate people into helping us work it out, right? Got a crown of domination.
Ooh, yeah, you do. That could be
if
super useful.
If we could corner someone, we could get that on them.
Who would know the most about the goings-on in a graveyard?
Well, it's the Herazim's tomb, so I assume that it belongs to, well, the gravekeeper, though, if there is one. If, like, the cemetery keeper.
There's got to be someone who tends to the grounds and someone in charge of the people who tend to the grounds.
Yes. So, I think that's what we'll do then. I go back and look for the groundskeeper or something like that.
It's nighttime right now, but you do find the cemetery, let's call it the office for lack of a better term. It's right near the front entrance, right next to that big placard that you saw that had all the fancy tombs marked on it. It's closed for the night, of course. but it's right there, and you can head back in the morning or whenever you want.
No, I think we'll go there. I think we'll go now. So,
Okay.
I'll cast. Does it look like a one-room place? Like maybe it's just this guy lives here on his own?
No, it looks like it's got a few small rooms in it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a small building, though.
I polymorph into a spider, and I crawl into his house.
Okay.
And I start crawling on the walls and looking to see where these people are asleep.
Yeah. Sure enough, there is a gravekeeper here. It's a young lady in her, I don't know, late 20s or so, passed out on a bed, sort of like one leg sticking out, one arm sticking out, clothes all over the floor. The place is sort of a mess. There's like dirty dishes that have piled up. It's kind of looks like my house.
Okay, so what I do then, I've played this game before, right? My goal is that if you do something to someone when they're asleep, they're more likely to sort of forget it as a dream, especially if you use like forget.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to polymorph back into me at the foot of their bed. And I get my, I'm going to cast suggestion on her. I shake her leg awake. I shake her awake.
Oh,
As she starts to rouse.
In the morning.
Cast suggestion, and I loudly say, I suggest you answer my questions truthfully.
What? Huh? Who are you? What are you doing here?
What happened to the tomb of Falstaff? He is missing.
That's rubbish. It's rubbish.
No, it's true. It's empty. What happened to it?
That tomb's been guarded every day since he was buried, up until a couple weeks ago. It's definitely there. Promise. You must have been in the wrong tomb.
2 weeks. Who would have taken it?
Who would? No one. What? No one would take him. It's a dead man.
This person's useless to me. So I cast. I cast forget at this person.
Okay. She passes out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I leave, turn back into a robin or something, and fly off.
Gone.
Contemplate my next move. I think I'll fly back into my. I leave the window of my in room like slightly cracked, so I can fly in.
Fly in and out. Makes sense.
So I just go straight into the room and start to contemplate. So it sounds like it has been cleared out in the last 2 weeks since the guards stopped going. Which means somebody would have taken it. Now I'm just trying to think, like, how would you an item of that power? I feel like maybe you could track it down somehow.
You might have to have a piece of it or know it to track it. So who has means, motive, and opportunity to...
Well, that's it, isn't it? They all do, sort of. Like, so if there's 3 different factions, and it could have been taken just to keep it safe, or it could be taken to grab power. Which family did Falstaff belong to?
Harazim family. The king who died and whose family is missing.
Oh, right. So that's their family. So it's probably the other show, isn't it? They've probably got it. Okay. So what I'll do is I think maybe I'll go and check the other tombs and see if they're all emptied.
No. You poke around in other people's tombs and none of them are emptied. They're all still there.
So that implies that whoever, I think maybe like his son that he was telling me about, right? Was it he was telling me
great grandson? Yeah.
The alcoholic, I think he said.
Right, Boudoir Harazim?
Boudoir Harazim, yeah.
That's actually not his name. The dragon just doesn't remember it.
No, yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. So I think maybe they've taken it. In which case, I should probably steal off him.
But they're missing.
They are missing, but I do know where there is a scrying crystal ball telescope thing. So if I can find this guy's real name.
Then you could find him.
Yeah, then I could find him, yeah. Or send him a message. Say, hey, can I have your staff, please? There's also another staff though. There's the staff of thunder and lightning that's in Mistrea.
Ooh, who has that?
I read about. That is owned by. Was owned by a female named Bledra the Invoker. She was Archmage to the King 100 years ago. Died of unknown causes and buried in an unknown location. So she probably died out in the wilderness somewhere, I suppose, doing some adventure maybe. And it's just been lost.
Ooh, is that going to be easier to find?
Well, if you could find out where she was, maybe. She's probably been maybe killed by some great monster, and it's only 100 years ago, so maybe it might still be on record.
Maybe, yeah. That would mean going into Mystria, and if she was the Archmage, then it would probably be dealing with like Mystrian royalty records, or at least kingdom records, right?
Yeah. But they're our enemies, right? I mean, I don't mind fucking with them.
Okay.
I guess the dragon's teared up by now, but no one's mentioned that to me. No.
You have heard nothing about a dragon?
Yeah, okay. I'm dubious of trying to cause too much trouble here. I'm not sure that... I think if the royal family have actively taken that staff, then it's probably not the time to try and steal it. Although, if you did steal it, it'd be pretty easy to pin the blame on them.
Well, when did the royal family go missing? And when did the staff go missing?
Well, the staff went missing within the last 2 weeks, presumably, because he said there was guards there until then.
Right.
The question is, why did the guards stop turning up?
It's a good question.
I will go back in the daytime to speak to the gravekeeper.
Sure.
I don't know if I get a funny look from her, like a vague, like, did I have a dream about you?
I gotta see if she passes that check. Yeah, you do go back to see her, and she cocks her head to the side and goes, "Oh, it's I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name already."
What?
Haven't we met?
I don't think so.
You must have one of those faces.
Maybe you're just dreaming about me.
Maybe. I'm so sorry for your loss. How can I help you?
That's fine. No, I mean, I was thinking of having a memorial site put here for a friend of mine, very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was under the impression this graveyard was guarded. That's one of the reasons why I was interested.
Guarded. Only on the front gates, and then a few select tombs used to have personal guards of those families there up until they committed treason and went against the crown. And so those guards have been removed.
But I thought the Herazims were the royal family. How could they commit treason?
No, King Harazim died. There is now a new king. Yes, it is Ramar Shazarin. He is the new lord of Akuba, sits on the throne, and rules all over it. The Harazim guards were dismissed, since that family is no more, and the other family's guards were arrested. Peacefully. They're fine.
War, it's a sorry state. These Shazars, they're the wizards, right?
No. Well, the Shazars are the wizards. The Shazarins are the royal family now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
To outsiders, all the names could get mixed up. I understand
apologize.
that.
I've only been here a few months.
What brings you... why, are you concerned about grave robbing?
Well, my friend was a very powerful man. He has things that I would like to bury him with.
This is one of the safest places to do so.
Yes. Is there a fee? Well, obviously there is a fee, but what is the fee?
Certainly. It's quite hefty. Depends on the plot of land you would like. Generally speaking, location independent would be 10 pieces of gold per square foot.
Forever? Like 10 gold, one-off cost per square foot?
It's a one-off cost to buy, and then usually there's an additional endowment made to help tend to the graves. Otherwise, eventually they get left alone.
Well, that's actually quite reasonable. I'll think on it. I'm writing a book. I'm here for research as well.
Yes?
But I saw this place and thought this would be a good place to lay my friend to rest.
Well, it would be. Did I say 10 gold? I'm sorry, it's 100 pieces of gold per square foot. You decimal places, you know. I usually work in copper, and the conversion is difficult.
I understand. That sounds more reasonable.
Yes, yes.
Well, thanks for your time, Miss
Grave. I know.
Miss Grave. Wow.
I know.
I shake her hand.
She shakes your hand.
I don't give her my name. She doesn't ask, so I leave.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so now I'm thinking that maybe this new royal family have stolen the stuff. And that gives me a little bit more incentive here. They're not the wizards either, which is what I'm scared about. So the investigation continues. I think I need to find a workout. Are they in the royal palace now? Like, is there a royal palace?
She did say he was sitting on the throne.
Yes, she did, didn't she? So I presume I can see this place.
Yeah, you can see the palace. Totally.
Today I will just, in my polymorphing, go and fly around the palace and see, like, how easy would it be to get into a window or something like that. Presumably relatively easy.
Well, there are many windows. You'd have to find one that was open, of course. Yeah. But people leave windows open all the time. The only question that is rattling around in the back of your head is, are there magical things put in place to prevent this exact sort of thing? And you've never had to fly into a royal palace undetected before. You've never really investigated any sort of magical defenses that might be in place on, like, a state level where they can put real resources to use.
Yeah, that is true. Well, we did sneak into Anvil's Keep, but I'm sure that's not quite the same.
Yeah. That's a small town keep, not the, like, capital of a mighty nation.
Yeah. So I am thinking about that, because clearly, like, they've got anti-magic fields in the tomb, so they could have other things of a similar nature. I'm trying to think, like, good ways of testing it. Like, maybe throwing a light stone through a window would be a good way of...
You have to get close enough to throw it in, right?
Yeah, you'd have to get close enough to throw it in.
So I think step one is determining if there's defenses and how far out they begin to activate.
Well, I'm flying around the keep. Is it built on the ground? Yeah.
Yeah.
I, like, fly nearer to it at the base of the wall. And I, like, land on the base of the wall.
So if we take let's do a quick taking look at things here. On the map, you'll notice that the capital's right here against the water. So there's a big harbor and everything. The palace itself is on the far eastern edge. So, like, part of the palace rests against the water. Yeah. Okay. So you could, if you want to fly around the palace, you'll either have to be, like, over land or over the sea part. And there's, like, a good cliff size there as well.
So there's seagulls, is there, presumably, on the castle wall that borders the sea?
Totally.
So I will be a seagull then, and I'll try and nest with the seagulls and perch on whatever wall they're perched on and see if I get polymorph shifted away. If I were to get polymorphed in middle air and fall off this wall, I'd probably die, right?
Let's see. If you were at the base of the wall, you'd fall 20 feet. You take 2d6 falling damage.
I've got stone skin anyway, so actually,
yeah,
I'd be alright. So I try that then.
All right. Give me just a minute here. Okay. This is the point where I haven't actually made all of the custom spells that you would use to actually defend a castle, because 2e Rules as Written doesn't have a lot of castle defense spells, and I haven't actually made these ones yet. No.
Oh my god.
But I know they exist. So...
I mean, we can just run with it. Like, what kind of defense is it, Neal?
Yeah. It's more of a, let's call it a repulsion than like an actual canceling of things. So as you fly towards it, you find like there's wind blowing you back, and as the other seagulls just fly and sort of perch, no problem. You fly and find yourself pushing against wind and then slowly being like blown back and away.
Okay, so I land at the base of the floor then, and turn into a spider and see if I can climb up the wall that way.
Same thing. You start climbing, and then once you like go from the natural cliff near the ocean to the man-made wall, like winds start to come and push down on you.
Does it look like inconceivable to go against them, or if I was like in human form, do I feel like I could probably walk through them? But it's because I'm a small animal that
The winds seem equally strong in your seagull and relatively equally strong in seagull and spider form.
okay,
so it's like the same amount of
interesting.
force. It's just enough to keep you away.
Interesting.
Why don't
That
you
doesn't
give
work
me?
on the other seagulls.
Yeah, why don't you give me an intelligence check here?
Yeah,
We'll see if you can piece together something that's going on.
nailed it.
Yeah. So your best approximation is that there is some effect here that reacts with magic or reacts with enchantments and has like a, anti-gravity effect or whatever
sure.
on specifically magical things, and just repulses magic things or enchanted things.
Right. Okay.
So in theory, if you were like above the keep and just canceled all your spells and just fell, you could probably just naturally fall into the keep. But if you were to fly in, then you would probably get bounced off or something.
Yeah, but like maybe if I could like drop myself into the chimney and then turn into a spider from there and crawl down. Although that might be dangerous, right? Yeah, it's probably people actually use chimneys back in the then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wonder if I could like land on the roof then. No, I mean I feel like that's gonna be. They would have thought of that, but.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll try that though. I'll try and approach from above, and do I get repelled like upwards as I approach the roof?
No, you can fly maybe a few hundred feet above it, and it seems to be actually there is a distance above that it will go. Let me check. Hold on. What is the range of? So you have to be like 1,000 feet above it. Otherwise, as you're trying to pass, you feel the wind pushing you back.
Wow. So what if I go from 1,000 feet above and then come in from above?
As you fly down, you feel like it's not so much wind pushing you directly up, it's more like blowing you to the side. So you get like pushed off and kind of have to careen around and climb and circle back up again. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're almost out of time.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems like a decent place to leave it, and I can think about how I might break into this keep. I might have to do it a more manual way, like manipulating a guard to let me in or something like that.
Mm-hmm. That might be an approachable way. Cool.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to end it here for the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's been good to keep up with Malachi and his adventures.
Yeah, always good fun.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that we're on to some sort of fun, investigatory, puzzling, discerning, like proper adventuring again. Not just, visiting high and important people, but getting down and dirty with things.
Doing some stuff, yeah. It was nice to actually kill something. I'm not sure when the last time. Well, I suppose we did kill those giants.
I suppose we did, yeah.
Yeah, that was a while back, actually.
Yeah.
Great. All right, well, it's fun, Neal, I mean, you know me, I'm around, so, whenever you want to play.
I'm out of town next weekend, and I think we're going to try and get a hobo game going in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then we'll try and touch base with you and Sean and see if we can't do some other stuff. Although, now that you've been missing for a few months, God knows what happened to Van Helsing. He could be anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know where did we leave him? So he'd gone to Outlast and recruited some fighters, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And he was bringing them to go to the Shadow Realm with us, but actually it's going to take me a while to make the portal because I'm waiting for the books from Caldonia to be able to create the portal, which we all know aren't actually coming.
Mm-hmm.
So gonna have to find some other way around that at some point, but not until I know that they're not coming, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So gotta wait for that. But I think it's soon, right? That those 3 months have just passed. Like, I don't know. Did Dracus ever find out that the spoilers? Can I spoil Frofro on here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Does Dracus know that the Scrags killed all of the people, and that therefore it's not coming anymore? Or do they still think that maybe it's still coming? I don't think they knew, did they?
Let's see. I don't have. Where's my Frofro? history of events. Let's see. Important historical events. Here we go. Amelie dies here. Where is
Poor Amelie.
her name? Captain Hughes hasn't been killed yet. We're still like 2 months out from Hughes dying. So, no, we're still at the point where that operation's probably just starting underway now, actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, all right, cool. So, next time.
How does Malachi feel about missing 3 months of his life, being a prisoner of a dragon in a weird magical environment where he doesn't sleep or fatigue or atrophy?
It was pretty cool when I thought he was leading somewhere, but the fact that he essentially just told me there's a staff in that tomb, which I already knew, and also isn't actually true. So I've not really achieved it. Oh no, I suppose I did get the stone for the portal though.
You did get the stone for the portal.
Yeah, so that's something good. That was going to be, I mean, apart from the spells, that's the last thing I need. So
yeah, and connections with people and dragons are always useful, even if it's not reaping rewards presently. That could be a useful service to have in the future.
Yeah, definitely. So I know quite a few dragons now. We know this brass dragon. We know the bronze dragon, or is it a gold dragon by Stromheim?
Gold
Dragon by Stromheim.
Yeah.
We fought the green dragon. We saw the shadow dragon. So we've living up to the Dungeons and Dragons name in this campaign.
We got some dungeons, we got some dragons, and we'll be back, God, in maybe a month or so with some more hardcore heroes or some Homeward Bound. Yeah,
that's right. Well, did we say? Are you going to be annoyed at me if I say a date here? But did we not say maybe the 16th of June?
I think we did say maybe the 16th of June. Yeah.
So that would be sweet. Yeah.
2 weeks from today, hopefully.
Yeah, great.
Great.
Okie dokie.
We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.